Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Evolve Point, your Shadowverse Podcast. I'm your host, Ignideus, and as always, with me are joined by two co-hosts, Such Patanko, fellow Shadowverse streamer, hello.
Hey.
And Lord Kalen, moderator of the subreddit and the subreddit Discord, hi.
I'm dying, inside and out.
Yeah, so we had a little bit of a delay recording this episode because Kalen got sick, and Tonko got addicted to Gundam and One Piece, and I was doing Bushy Road Card Game Festival, so apologies for the tardiness, but that means this episode's probably going to be an extra long one because there's a lot to talk about.
I hope you like them long and packed.
Yeah. Don't say that. At least wait for the first minute to be over. Yeah, we're talking about, of course, the Battlefest fiasco. We're talking about the new update. We're talking about stuff that's happening in Shadowverse Classic. Tons of tournaments have come and gone as well, revealing to us the actual state of the metagame at a higher level. And then the main topic will be the new update patch notes, the detailed what's coming up in the upcoming update, which is, as of time of recording, coming out tomorrow. And then, of course, we have the viewer questions as well. Are you ready to get started?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sirree.
Alrighty then. Sorry, that was a long one because I was just getting my mouse cursor back to the Google Doc. We are talking about the Battlefest fiasco first. Of course, we would be remiss not to talk about it, so if you guys don't have the context, there was an event in the Shadowverse Park, and it was a really good event where everybody was having a grand old time accumulating points so that one of 3 cosmetics would be given out for free to everybody in the game. There was Team Fenny, Team Zwei, and Team Kuon. Team Kuon lost in the group stage very badly, but unfortunately, it didn't matter because in the delegate stage, Team Kuon won every game or whatever, and so the card that people wanted the least became the one that was free, and the cards that people wanted the most became put in the shop, and not only were they put in the shop, they were bundled for a crystal price, and more expensive than the existing card styles in the shop too for some reason. And that obviously sparked a huge backlash and a massive review bomb. Yeah, honestly, just a shit show. I can say that now. We're 2 minutes in. What do you guys think?
I think Battlefest was the best event they've ever had in Shadowverse, and
Until
the 11th hour when the fine print on the rules ruined it. Because I've been saying it since it happened. It was the bonus points rule in the fine print that swung the event. If that bonus point rule didn't exist, the event would have gone as the community wanted, with basically Kuon coming nice and last, and then it actually being neck and neck between Zwei and Feeney. Zwei would have had a chance to beat Feeney, but Feeney would have still won if there was no bonus points.
You might notice that on the screen right now, we're all waving the flags in protest, I guess.
yeah, the flags of shame, the losers.
I mean, Tonko, like, what do you think about the event itself until the 11th hour? I think we're all in agreement that it was good, right? Until they screwed it up at the last second.
So I barely had any time to play during the event. I just happened to be really busy that week, right? The park point the group point thing, I thought that was like 2 or 3 days, and at the time I thought that was too little time. I wish I had more time to play, hang out in park, and support my team. Apparently none of it mattered.
Yeah,
because of the way that the point system was so skewed towards the final hour, where they just pick a whole bunch of 100 randos and just have them duke it out. None of us realized exactly how much points could get accumulated, because I figured that there was a small chance that Kuon could lock in. Because when I was streaming that night, I was like looking at it, I was like, oh wait, okay, with the bonus points, there's a chance that Kuon could lock in. Maybe. And if Kuon locked in and everybody else did bad, maybe Kuon could win. And then he did, and we are in the worst timeline.
Well, you know, I kind of
understand.
understand.
Kuon got the most wins in that delegate stage, and that got them the bonus 30 points. But the thing is, they would have had to have won 15 more matches than they did to win without those bonus points. Do you really think like that's fair that they got 15 wins worth of points?
Well, no, I was gonna say, like, I understand the rationale of like having everything have a chance at the final stage, but I think it's dumb. Like, the community stage should matter more because it's what the 99% of the players are engaging with, you know?
Yeah,
so I feel like
with an event like this, it is important to have some sort of comeback mechanic to some extent, because that way it's not just like a total landslide victory with just one character.
Yeah.
So to give an example, back in Fire Emblem Heroes, Tonko's first gacha game, Babby's first gacha game, they had these popularity poll-ish events, right? Where it was like an 8-round tournament between 8 different characters, and the way it worked at first, it was just raw popularity. Whoever was the most popular would just win by a landslide, right? But over time, they eventually put in more mechanics with the point system, so underdogs would have an advantage, and sometimes it would result in some robberies, but it made the event a lot more interesting because it's not just raw numbers and that's it.
Well, I
don't necessarily mind the final round points like mattering to some extent, but to this extent is a bit extreme.
Exactly. I was gonna say like with the community stage being so far ahead, Fenny and Zwei ahead of Kuon, I feel like if Zwei had a chance in the final stage, that would have been an interesting outcome. But Kuon winning the whole thing just made the entire first stage feel completely meaningless. And it's gotten to the point where
the
people...
first stage ended with Feeney having 49 points, Zwei at 35, and Kuon at 17, which only 17% of the player base got what they wanted.
And I want to say, like, people have even discussed, like, if they don't change this system for next time, then technically the best way to get what you don't want, like, out of the game is to just play the team you hate the most and then just job and just concede.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring this up next. Someone did the math on like the theoretical top end of points you'd get if your team did like pretty well in the battle stage and all things were equal otherwise. And basically any one team could get like 130 points. And that would, like, if it was a landslide, they'd get 130 points. Over on the Chinese server, Zwei got 139, blew out Feeney and especially Kuon. Kuon got nothing on the Chinese server. And there was reports that the delegates fighting against Zwei players would quit because they wanted Zwei to win. They were actually doing that. And that's why Zwei won with a brutally high battle delegate.
That's the thing too. That's the thing too.
Said.
The delegate matches
already on the feeder meta before us.
Yeah, so the delegate matches is 100 v100 v100, and it's only best of one. So, like, even if you weren't intentionally feeding, it's just completely RNG, basically.
I do want to say this, though. I have seen it so often that people blame the Feeney delegates for losing by bringing Feeney and doing a bad job. But if you just look at the amount of wins they got, the Feeney delegates did exactly as well as they needed to win the entire event if the bonus points didn't happen. Without the bonus points, Feeney still wins against Zwei by 5 points.
I think
so the Feeney players didn't throw. It was the bonus points, not that.
I would also like to give Fenny players more credit. I would assume that Fenny players know that Fenny is fraudulent and wouldn't put their team at risk by bringing Fenny. Although I was Team Zwei and I locked in puppets, so I'm not one to talk.
I want to say, like, I think if it was either the win points or the bonus points, but having both just trivialized the entire first stage, and it just sucks. And I hope they change it for the next time. That's all I got to say, really.
Dude, could you imagine for the feeder meta? Like, if you're playing as a feeder against a feeder, it's literally a race of who top lefts first. It's just a speed run.
Exactly. It's literally a speed run. Yeah, that's true. I want to say also, like, I hope they change the event, obviously, for the next time so that this doesn't happen. I like either have the bonus points be the only source of points on the second stage or the winner points be the only source of points, not both, because that was dumb. But I will say also, the microtransactions are just too expensive. Why are they more expensive than the Evolve card style?
I was about to say
20% more expensive.
So this upset victory in the event, that's like, okay, they didn't plan this, maybe they didn't plan this out all the way. That's one thing, and they might change it later on. They might improve that. But the part that really broke me, the last straw for me, was when we knew that they were gonna sell the card styles. And they already announced that they were going to get bundles, so we weren't surprised, but it was still annoying. The fact that
they didn't say it would be bundled. They didn't say it would be bundled.
I'm pretty sure. Well, I don't have the source on me, but I think in one of the news sections it said that they would be in the bundle.
The whole thing is like, why is it more expensive than the Evolve card style? It's the same shit. Why is it more expensive?
The previous card style set, which nobody was happy about to begin with. The previous one they released with Forte and stuff was 1,500. That's 500 per card art style, and this one is 600 each. So because everyone got cool and that played defense, it gets reduced down to 1,200. But 1,200, 600 each to get the two other styles that people actually play
those exact 3 days as well. If you didn't pick a team, it's 1,800.
You'd have to pay the full 1,800. Yeah, how embarrassing.
I just don't understand. Like, if you set the price of a card style to 500, people won't like it. Whatever. That's whatever.
Why?
But why then change it to be more expensive for the community event? It just shows such a... Like, it feels super money grubby, you know?
So I wanna restate this. I said this before. I get that it can be frustrating when we compare the Worlds Beyond economy with Classic, right? You know, it is a different game. It's not fair to compare everything. It can get tiresome to make that comparison all the time. But this is another case where we're comparing Worlds Beyond with Worlds Beyond. They set a precedent. We already, like, it's like what happened with the lobby tournaments where they outright made those rewards worse, and now they're making this worse than the precedent they already set with the style they already put on sale.
They did fix the lobby tournament thing.
Yeah, but I got a bad feeling that then at the very least this first bundle, I don't think legally they can like change and fix it because people have already spent money on it. Like, I don't think the logistics will work out there. They should just, if they show that they're willing to not mess this up again, then maybe it'll be fine. But I think it's bad reputational damage if they don't, if they keep this the same for the next time. You know what I mean? There were people that were conspiracy theorying that this, like, it was rigged, like actually rigged. Cygames, the devs picked out the least favorite card on purpose and rigged it in its favor so people would have to spend money on the card styles that they actually wanted.
Thing is, like, I don't think that's true, but the fact that the monetization is so cringeworthy that theory is even like being floated, it says a lot, I think. You know what I mean? Like,
well, as I mentioned, with the scores of like how well Team Feeney, Team Kuonan's Y performed in the second stage, the delegate stage, the idea that it is rigged relies on the idea that they intentionally chose low rank, bad Team Feeney and Teams Y players, except Teams Y was the one getting most of the wins for the first half of the games, and then Team Feeney got enough wins to win the thing anyway, so it wasn't rigged. So it was just bad rules.
Yeah, neither of us were streaming at the time during the actual final event, but we were all watching it together, like on a Discord call. You were able in the final event, you were able to just watch live the wins count up. I didn't see it because I didn't know where it was in the menu, but there were several cases where it would just jump up out of nowhere. For some teams,
it would jump up out of nowhere, and then it would also go question mark near the end as well. Which
they did that so you couldn't see the winner immediately. I've got an image on hand.
Yeah, keep you in suspense.
No, I understand that it's to keep you in suspense, but it does look sus. You know?
But, yeah, dude, that final event though, before we saw the results. that atmosphere, that energy with everybody in park waving their flags and hanging out was so good.
Well,
that
that's another thing I
moment
want
before the very end was amazing until all of it got spoiled.
I want to say, like, that's the whole thing. I feel like the low wouldn't sting as bad if the event wasn't so good in the lead up. It's like they did a home run, and then instead of running to home base, they like pooped their pants and then tripped and fell on their own shit. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's horrible. It was like such a hype moment only to have such a terrible finish.
Someone was able to take screenshots of every time the scoreboard updated and put it all in one image. And for the entire time in the delegate stage, Feeney was very far behind, and Zwei bolted ahead of everyone else.
Yeah.
Just that Kuon caught up in that last like 5 matches. Really
it was at the very end. Yeah.
Yeah, because Kuon caught up like just before they cut off the scores. It was 27 for Feeney, 37 for Kuon, and 41 for Zwei. So everyone, like all of us in chat, we just resigned ourselves to, okay, Zwei won. I can live with that, basically. But then Yudi told us who won.
No, I also think that, like, even if the rules are bad, it's just like everything combined, you know? Like, even if the rules are bad this first time, it wouldn't be so shitty if the prices weren't just more expensive for no reason. That's also just
that wouldn't have changed the trajectory of the reviews. The event got 2,000 negative reviews on Steam the moment Kuon got announced, and then another 700 once the pricing of the cosmetics got announced.
Insane. Well, I mean, do you guys have anything else to say about this before we move on to the next thing? Or
the arena was beautiful, and I forgot to listen to the music. The whole park was great, and I spent so much time in it.
It was beautiful, yeah.
Dude, like this whole event was a disaster, and it kind of was a last straw for so many players. A straw that broke the camel's back. For me, it sure was. Like, you guys know how I've been complaining about this expansion this entire time, constantly. And this was a point where the Kuon victory broke me so bad, I kind of just stopped logging in.
You started playing Gundam TCG.
I started playing Gundam. No, I started playing Gundam. I started playing One Piece. I started going outside to play like physical card games again. I went out, touched grass. I played more classic, everything except for Worlds Beyond. To the extent where like I straight up didn't even log in for the Grand Prix. I didn't even want to try. Speaking of.
You have to understand. Oh,
yeah,
thank you for
segue.
No, I appreciate your segue, but I just want to say ahead of time, for people who say that we're too doomer or whatever, and I do understand that some people call us shills and some people call us doomers, which is funny that it happens at the same time. But you have to understand that I want this game to succeed, and when they fumble a bag this easy, it's like incredibly frustrating for me. Like you're creating friction for players to jump off for no reason, for like short-term gain. And you're creating so much ill will. And frankly, I just hope that they have a little more long-term thinking in the future. That's all I gotta say about it. Anyway, sorry, can you segue again real quick, Taco?
Grand Prix, let's go.
Okay, so the Grand Prix is happening. It just happened. The Infinity Evolved Grand Prix. It's, as usual, a Grand Prix event. 1 free entry per stage, not per day this time, like Old Classic. We mentioned that on the Legends Rise Grand Prix as well. We won't harp on it. But basically, this time around, the rewards are Gildaria sleeves and flare. Emblem. How do we feel about that? Gildaria being she's the most popular character in the set, I think. So I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, the fan art on Twitter's great. Especially the one with the Shadowverse player grabbing her from the ears.
I was going to say, like, what did your Grand Prix runs were like?
Terrible.
But I know Taco didn't play, so.
I didn't even get into the finals. I was too sick and tired and busy.
That is not your fault, though, to be fair. That's just life thing.
I wasn't really
I also
playing
missed
much,
one of my tickets.
Yeah.
I wasn't really playing much, but I did miss... I did miss
oh my God, it's spreading.
I did miss all of the Grand Prix ticket missions this time because I just did not care. I did log in just to do my free run for Group B, and I did reach Group B final. I just
Nice.
I queued in with Ramp Dragon, thinking like it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna play whatever, and I did okay enough to reach Group B. So yeah, but I don't even know if I'm gonna bother trying for the actual final though, because
I mean, you might as well.
Gildaria's pretty and all, but I don't like looking at her. I'm sick of looking at Sword. Sorry.
It's just 3 matches. You might as well just do it.
But I don't. I'm so sick of Sword. But yeah, I might as well do it.
I was gonna say I did make it to Group A using mid Sword in stage 1 and then mid Abyss in stage 2, and then I queued. What did I queue? I think I queued mid Abyss in finals as well, and I fought 3 swords in a row, and I lost 1-2. So I got the same record as Rigze, I think. But you know, just getting to A finals gets you all the cosmetics, so I don't care. So it's fine.
Good enough.
Anyway, that's the Grand Prix. Let us know how you did in the comments. Next up, we got the Omen of the... Oh, sorry, that's not what it's called. Heirs of the Omen reveals. We won't talk about all of the reveals here. We'll probably do another video later once the portal drops, talking about that, or at least I will. But I just wanted to ask, what's your favorite so far out of all the Omens?
If I speak, I'll get arrested.
It's Valharia, isn't it?
It's the guy in the dragon armor. Wood.
Oh, well, for me it's Valharia. But so me being Portalcraft guy, I'm already in a bad mood with this game as is. And when I was watching the Portalcraft reveals, I was spiraling. I was dooming so hard. Both legendaries, both destruction legendaries seem so fraudulent. But then they came around and revealed the Lishana gold spell to summon another egg, and it's like, wait, okay, I might be able to work with this.
Did you see the silver amulet too? The commons literally saved the entire archetype. Yeah,
they saved the archetype with like 1 or 2 cards. It's I don't know if it's gonna be good enough to keep up, but it's at least destruction is a viable control package. That being said, though, I'm a dragon main now, so I'm very excited for this game.
I'm excited for Azure Ifrit. Azure Ifrit looks great. I also want to say, as of time of recording, the full portal drop is in like 6 to 7 hours, so we don't know the full set.
Oh, yeah.
But so far, I'm liking that this set is taking a lot more risks in terms of card design than set 2 did. Infinity Evolved was a lot of mid slop where it's just summon another guy. You know, Neptune is summon another guy. Charon is summon another guy. Merman is summon another guy. Gildaria is summon another guy. Just like, stop. You know, you gotta stop printing this shit. So now, this
is what I've been saying, where the first couple expansions were going to be just generic, basic cards to, you know, ease people in. And now we're getting to the point where they're actually trying to introduce proper, interesting archetypes. I don't know to what extent that each of these archetypes will still play generic slop. I don't know how much sword pile you can still squeeze into loot, but I'm sure sword will still find a way to squeeze in all the broken cards.
I don't know though, Tonko. You know, back in the set 2 reveals, we were thinking that Portal would be good, and then it turned out to flop. So what if sword suddenly flops? Who knows?
Yeah, so I've been getting pissed off looking at loot sword because it's like, okay, the heir does 8 on Super Evolve if you got the full fusion, and if you have Octrius active, you can get the 1-drop spell. That is 12 damage to face with 7 play point. But I am hesitant though. Because we've had cases in Shadowverse Classic where we would see archetypes that do like huge big burn or big damage.
You guys remember Antamaria?
No, that's exactly what I was thinking of. So, Convict's Dragon. I was so pissed off looking at the Convict Dragon reveals. I was like, this is crazy. This is so dumb. This is so annoying. But then the archetype as a whole just didn't do enough.
Yeah.
Loot Sword does have enough loot generators to get the air going, to get the full fusions. But 12 to face it might be tricky for Sword to have enough good follow-up besides like Out of Bear Enhance, because it being a 12 to face is still low tempo. So say Rune could just play Norman and heal 8.
There's also a
That's
lot
oh
more
my God,
I
coming
love
this set
Norman.
with the Gildan Elise reveal. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, pretty exciting. That set's coming out tomorrow. I'm really happy to be out of set 2. I found the set quite boring. I mean, I didn't crash out as hard as Tonko, but
when I was going outside and touching grass, I discovered 2 players IRL that were playing Worlds Beyond. I've never actually met anybody IRL that was playing Shadows Classic, but they were on Worlds Beyond. Both of them quit because of set 2.
yeah, that doesn't really.
While I was
surprise me.
out
Yeah.
touching grass, I went into a card game shop and tried to buy some. I'd seen he'd had some Gods of the Arcana loose packs, so I asked if they came from a booster box, and they did. So I asked if he had the code cards, and the clerk at the store said pretty much that if there were any code cards in the booster box he opened, he just threw them out. And yeah, I wanted to rip his throat out.
Yeah, so if any of you guys saw Ignideus Altar Olivia, that's how you get that Olivia. You can redeem up to 5 of those Shadowverse Evolve codes, get a whole bunch of packs, Seer's Globe, Seer's Gem, and the Altar Olivia that nobody in English has except for me and Igni, it feels like.
Hell yeah, brother. All right, shall we
I'm
move
halfway
on?
there, but I can't find code cards.
They also
Yeah, move
announced that they are doing nerfs now. So it seems like they held back on doing balance updates because of the accelerated release schedule. Because, you know, as we know, the second set came out only 1 month after the first set, and this third set is coming out only 1.5 months after the second set. But from this set on, it's going to be a regular 2-month cadence. And because we are now in this regular cadence, they have released their nerf methodology, and it seems like they're finally going to start balancing the game actively. So let me just try and find the post here and read it out to y'all. Here we go. Card ability adjustments, balancing philosophy. To encourage strategic diversity, we'll be looking into increasing the viability of certain cards by strengthening their abilities. If cards need to be weakened, we will consider appropriate apologies for those affected. So, I saw some doomers saying they're never gonna nerf cards. They're only going to buff. And, you know, fair enough, that is a reasonable concern, because if they do nerf cards, they will have to give out vials as compensation. But according to this, they will nerf if necessary, but they will prefer buffs because they want to say here, example changes, adjustments to increase the play rate of less popular decks, or adjustments to broaden use cases of less viable decks. So that's the first part. How do we feel about that? Like, they're preferring buffs, but they will nerf if necessary.
Everybody wants to see, you know, Runecraft dead and all, but overall, generally, it typically is healthier for a game to do good buffs as opposed to just nerf everything to the ground.
Well, you know, the thing is, like,
Buffs,
on ladder,
yeah.
the diversity is quite low, I would say, but in tournament, like, surprisingly, it's not that bad. We got Midsword, Mid-Abyss, Roach, and Spell Boost all in top tier. That's like 4 different decks, 4 different classes. So I actually would prefer to see some buffs to the weaker ones instead of... Obviously, I would like to see Ann and Greya get hit in the head by a big rock. That still hasn't changed. But you know, other than that, I kind of agree. That being said, I do understand the, I guess, concern of people that they like, oh, if there's a problem card, they won't nerf it because it'll have to give out compensation. But hopefully this does assuage some of those concerns, I guess, because they said that they will if necessary. So, I don't know. What do you think?
I think if you buff too much, then everything ends up on a power level where kind of chokes out the ability for anything but that one deck in that craft to survive.
Well, I don't know, because remember Heroes of Shadowverse back in the last dying gasps of Shadowverse Classic? Literally every class was broken beyond belief.
Yeah.
And every class saw play. And that was kind of base. I mean, obviously, you can't sustain that. They only did that because the game was ending. But like, You know, if they can capture some of that energy, that'd be kind of cool. I don't know.
Yeah, Heroes of Shadows kind of ended up being one of the best metas. I mean, some decks like Wrathblood were just a little bit too annoying, but
no, but like,
it was thrilling though. Like by the end of Classic, Heroes of Shadows was still an unsolved meta. There was still so much potential.
And it never had a chance to get solved because it became unplayable.
Legitimately, I wish they pushed back Throwback. I wanted to keep playing Heroes for a little while because Rage Finals was 6 different decks, and I was like, what the hell is going on? Unheard of. Anyway, so that's not all, though. They also say, schedule. Any adjustments will generally be made at the end of odd-numbered months, in between card sets. So it comes out September. So does that mean at the end of a card set before the next card set, or in the middle of a card set? The wording's a little bit
in the
odd
middle
here.
of a card set.
Because it comes out.
I guess technically, I guess it's coming out in August technically for set 3.
Yeah.
This card set's coming out in August. If there's going to be nerfs, it'll be in September.
Yeah,
that's good then.
Yeah.
That's really good. That means that, you know, that's also an excuse for them to do a mid patch like shake up of the meta to keep people interested.
Exactly.
So, yeah. But they also say, however, adjustments may be made at any time when necessary. And note that adjustments will always be announced beforehand. So, like, wait for the nerf announcement before you vial any legendaries, I would say, because you never know, like, what might get adjusted, right? So, that's all I got to say about that. And then
I really hope they nerf Limarga. She needs to go way too powerful.
How many copies do you have? How many copies?
9. I don't have stocks in Limarga. I didn't short sell Limarga. I just think she needs a nerf.
And then they also say all adjustments are considered carefully, so there's a possibility that there will be no adjustments, which I think is the one that excites people the least when they say that.
Well,
I mean, that kind of is just how Shadowverse has always been.
Yeah.
But before, back in Classic, back in my day, they kind of just did updates whenever. The fact that we have a set time of when they're gonna do patches, bound patches, is a huge improvement. Well, and they're still willing. They're still willing to do emergency patches if they need to.
Exactly. I will say, my swing for the fences prediction is that something from set 3 gets nerfed within 2 weeks. I have the feeling that it'll happen. Because, you know, also if they do that, it's good optics. It's just that they're willing to.
We've got to relive Wonderland Dreams where 20 cards get nerfed.
Dude, no, we don't. That almost killed the entire IP.
Yeah.
On the matter of funny balance of funny updates or nerfs or whatever, I am glad that there's a set time, which indicates that they're less likely to do irresponsible emergency changes, because I can't help but remember Academy of Ages, where they nerfed 4 different decks within the first week for no particular reason, not because of win rate, play rate, or anything. They nerfed so many decks just simply to sell the new cards. And when they did another balance patch, it was buffs, but that balance patch also came out too soon, because that was a patch where they buffed Annan Greya. Ready Greya, right behind you ran. The very first duo Annan Greya.
Didn't they also?
That was because back then Mysteria was underplayed, but right before it got buffed, it was starting to pick up steam. And then that buff it got was so broken. Like, they didn't have enough data to balance that properly. And then Annan Greya just dominated for a while after that.
That's why I do like their mid-patch rationale of doing things in the
it's
middle.
more responsible.
It does make more sense. All right, moving on, we also got upcoming in-game events. We'll be covering the main patch notes stuff in the main topic, but there are a couple of in-game events that are happening during the launch of Heirs of the Omen. So at the start of the set, there's going to be a bundle where you buy a bunch of shit, and then you get the Lashena alt art from Shadowverse Evolved. Tanko, ripped to your wallet, I guess.
Man, Paige Chill podcast talking about. I'm actually gonna buy this bundle this time.
Yeah, you are actually gonna buy it this time.
I am a Paige Chill. I have to buy this bundle, Kitsushana. I'm part of the problem.
And you know what you can do to buy that? You can buy the web store bundle that gives you 2,000 paid crystals, 200 unpaid crystals, 3 legendary packs, and 3,500 vials that you can use to buy this bundle.
It's worth noting. I don't know if we mentioned this already, but they confirmed that battle passes aren't one per patch, one per expansion. It's once per month.
Yeah.
So you kind of need that 2,000 gems if you want to get both battle passes.
Well,
which
sort of.
No, it's 750. It's 750 each, right?
It's 750 and you get 300 refund. But
so
I'm still going to be buying all of these.
That being said,
this means that I can't do as many daily packs on Legends Rise, which I still have to do.
that being said, I will say, kind of a bad look that they frame this web store bundle as a 3 million download reward. It's like, thank you for playing our game. As a reward, you get to pay us. It's like, okay, bro. What?
It's not a new expansion launch kind of thing. They're just pretending like it's a thanks for your support. Give us more money.
Same with we haven't gotten to the free decks yet.
Yeah, it's the same with the free decks. We'll talk about that in a second. Yeah, but there's also going to be Shadowverse Parkapalooza. This one's a fun one. Starting on September 12th, you get double pack keys from your park quest. Park keys from your park quest. That's pretty cool. And also, from September 12th, there's a photo event where you take photos in the park and then you share them for a chance to win 10 tickets. So I think it's a social media thing. But there's also, from September 16, a fan art event where if you submit fan art and win, they'll be exhibited in park. I think that's so cool. That's legitimately cool. As I really hope they do proper attribution, obviously, if they do that, because that could be a good way to have people in the game exposed to some of the community artists that we have in this in the Shadowverse community. But yeah, if that ends up going well, hopefully they don't bungle it. But if that ends up going well, that's a good time. There you go. Exciting. Next up, we have the boss battle event that's happening end of September, so midway through the patch, where you have to fight Gal Mew and Sincero, who are single player bosses. And you beat them to do missions while beating them, and then you get dungeon coins, which is like an event currency, and then you spend that event currency for rewards. So that's awesome. That's actually
they're adding the Dragalia Lost mode.
This is exactly what I wanted, because Shadowverse Classic had those quests where there would be certain elite bosses with different rules and
yellow
gold,
custom
the gold jelly bean from the island.
Gold Tina, yeah. And story mode in Classic, spoiler for old ass dead game, but story mode in Classic had a whole bunch of boss fights in it too with different rules, which I don't think we've seen I don't know, but I don't think we've seen fights of that scale in story mode for Worlds Beyond yet. So this is
there's only 3 or 4 fights in story mode right now.
I genuinely think that this event is the one that I'm most excited for. I've been talking about this the whole time, man. This game needs more events that aren't sweaty win ranked match events, because most people, and I mean this very affectionately, are bad, and they need a way to learn the ropes. They need a stress-free environment to enjoy the game and figure out the mechanics, and then hopefully that leads into them going, I can do this with that, I can do that with this, and that'll help me in my ranked matches too. You know what I mean?
You know what was a stress-free, casual, friendly event? Battle Fest, and they somehow messed that up. They can't mess this one up, surely, right? They can't mess this time. They can't mess it up this time, surely, right?
Knock on wood. I'm literally knocking on wood right now. Please don't mess it up. And then we also in October have the guild chest event, where you as a guild have to do missions to level up a guild chest. And at the end, I believe you all get what's in the chest, which is rupees, vials, packs, etc. So pretty cool. I'm definitely gonna be cycling out some inactives from my guild and putting in some new ones. So if you're a member of this channel, then please let me know, and you're active, I'll cycle you in, especially if you're master rank, please. Thank you.
Inactive players like me.
Yeah, I'm gonna kick out Such Patanka from the guild. He's not pulling his weight.
True.
All right, next up we have wait, hold up. There's no shot. We're covering Shadowverse Classic for this episode. Welcome to Classic Corner. Godworm Take 2 Cup is currently happening. I'm pretty sure it's a normal ass Take 2.
It is a normal ass, regular ass Take 2.
You get Thoth Emblem? What is this?
Pick Portalcraft because it has Calamity.
Okay.
Or pick Dragon.
Oh, is Dragon good at this?
Dragon was
Dragon a lot.
Bahamut class in Godworm.
It's not because of Bahamut. It's just because you have a whole lot of AoE, and you have that guy that's 9 cost summon Windblast every turn as a
as a
quest.
Yeah.
Wasn't that guy the freaking mercenary dude? That's right.
Polyphonic Roar was my card in those first few years.
That's right.
And that guy's just
Polyphonic
Roar, but better.
There's also September events announced for Shadowverse Classic. This is tragic stuff. I'm on the SV Game Classic Twitter, and this post has only 190 views and no likes and no comments.
That's I'm giving them a like.
Actual dead game. All right, so September 1st, as usual, there's events ending with days that end with 1. So September 1st, we got, get a daily rotation pack. September 11th, we got the Verdant Throwback Rotation Cup. Wait, is that Mist Obey format or no? It's not, right? No, it's not.
So long.
It's validate. Oh wait, you mean Grand Prix throw? This is Verdant Conflict. So
it's Valdane.
It's Valdane format. It's Valdane and Nitra Haven format. So I've been playing Classic more, of course, obviously, because Worlds Beyond Stinky, Set 2 Stinky. Dude, if Set 3 sucks, I'm screwed. Because Verdant Conflict is one of my least favorite formats of all time.
Well, I don't know. Maybe you'll go back to it and enjoy it. Remember when you thought you hated Alter Sphere, and then you're like, wait a minute, I was just stupid? Remember that?
Well, I mean, this format, I was so close to Grandmaster. I did a stream. I was just 1,000 away from GM, and that stream, I lost so bad. I lost 2,000 points within 2 hours. Bro. I hate Verdant Conflict, bro.
Oh, I also forgot that September 1st is also going to be a Victory Rewards event where you can get your favorite guy, so basically a chest event, and you can get
not Stinky. Yeah.
You can get Valdane Emblem and sleeves.
Oh boy! And for the 21st, they have Take 2 also, which is one of the good Take 2s, and the reward is right behind you and Ready Greya.
Oh my god, it is. It is Ann and Greya.
It actually is. Yeah, it's Ann and Greya that I was just talking about for Academy. Yeah.
That's messed up. All right, and also, bafflingly, for Shadowverse Classic, they're selling a bundle. Who's buying this?
No, they've still been doing that with every throwback, and
you get a rotation, gets 10 packs. You get Arya sleeve and emblem, and then there's one legendary guaranteed in the first 2 bundles, and the third bundle has a leader guaranteed. Great.
Who asked? But also, it's sometimes there are suckers that will just buy nostalgic sleeves anyway. Like me, I'm sucker.
Yeah, you are
real.
Okay. Next news. Welcome to the esports corner, my favorite corner. We each have a segment except for Kaylin. We should give Kaylin a segment next time.
My segment is ranting about the economy every episode.
Yeah, that does happen. All right.
Yeah.
SVO Qualifier 1 was won by Dawnbreaker's Tempest, who won with mid-range Abyss and Ramp Dragon. Much to everyone's surprise, I will
the hero
also
of the
say,
people moment.
I will also say, I want to take some credit for this. Obviously, Tempest did 99.9% of the work, but last month I tweeted something like, if anybody thinks Dragon is good, bring it to SVO and prove me wrong, because I was dooming about Dragon. And I was right to doom about Dragon, just so you know. Dragon is still bad. but Tempest made the God run happen just to spite me, which is so funny.
No. What makes it funnier though is that Tempest queued in with Dragon, but he didn't realize that he had to play both decks for the
legitimately
half, right? Yeah.
He queued with Dragon and Abyss, and with the plan of just queuing Abyss the entire time, but he didn't realize you couldn't change decks between the BO1 group stage and the BO3 play-in stage. So his plan was to swap off Dragon, and he only queued Dragon to troll me, but then he was forced to play it and won.
And then he locked in. Yeah.
So funny. I love it so much.
To be fair to you, Igni, I'm pretty sure you were dooming about Fenny specifically. But Tempest doesn't even play Fenny, he's just playing raw Vamp Dragon.
No, true.
Which is the correct play. It's a correct way to play Dragon. But Fenny though.
Yeah. Fenny just can't stop losing, dude. Lost the Battlefest. The one-time Dragon won SVO, not in it either. What the hell, man?
Cannot catch a break, dude.
All right, next up we have the SKO winner. So to clarify, SVO, which we just talked about, is Shadowverse Open. It's the international circuit. SKO, Shadowverse Korea Open, is specifically for, well, as you guessed, Korea. And I wanted to talk about it a little bit because the top four was pretty interesting. At fourth place, we have Vuiris, who got Roach and Mid-Range Abyss. Then at third place, Sword and Wardhaven. Second place, Basasak, I think, with Sword and Spell Boost Rune. And then first place, Sword and Spell Boost Rune. So first and second, no surprise there. I am pleasantly surprised that Wardhaven is doing really well in tournament. Just like a huge cock blocker to anybody playing Roach, basically. Just gatekeeping anyone playing that strategy. And then also, SVO, 2 Mid-Range Abyss wins in a row, and then Mid-Range Abyss in fourth place in Korea. I think it basically cements Mid-Abyss as a tier 1 deck in this format, which is kind of crazy. A lot of people didn't expect that. So, pretty cool.
It feels tier 1 when you're fighting it. It's pretty hard to go long against that deck.
It feels tier 3 when I play it, specifically me.
I've been playing it a lot this set, and it is very good, but like, if you don't have Aragavi when they like Zirconia into Zirconia, you just top left and it just feels really bad.
It is what it is.
Yeah, and also you can also brick really easily, so that's also a problem.
I think they need to hurry up and print Bahamut so he can recreate the first scene in the Rage of Bahamut anime and fucking kill Odin.
That's messed up. That's messed up, but also I understand where you're coming from. Next up, we have STO, which is the Shadowverse Taiwan Open. You'll never guess where that circuit's based. In fourth place for that, oh, this is a very... People in Taiwan locked in, okay? Fourth place, Sword Rune. Third place, Sword Rune. Second place, Roach Rune. First place, Roach Sword. No fun allowed!
Yeah, that's more accurate to the usual experience people have.
Yeah, that's the ladder experience, I'll tell you that much. I'll tell you that. What was this? Huh? Next up, we have the Shadowverse Extra Championship winner, which is the offline event that happened in Japan only. So this is exclusive to people who live in Japan. There was the Hokkaido tournament, which does qualify to World Championships, I believe. And the person who won that won with Roach and Spell Boost Rune. So no surprises there, really. And then there's also the Shadowverse Online Championship August winner. And that person won with Spell Boost Rune and Wardhaven. Another dub on the board for Ward. So pretty awesome. Wardhaven, genuinely playable. You know, it was weird because in pre-release, in the reveal season, everyone was going, it's so crazy. And then when it came out, everyone's saying it's so fraudulent. And then now people are saying, actually, it's fine. So the answer is somewhere in the middle.
I will still claim that Wardhaven is fraudulent to this day for the normal player experience on ladder. Wardhaven locks in specifically in tournaments because they're a 2-deck format. But laddering of Wardhaven is still a nightmare.
Well, I will say, like, there's lots of lineups that don't play Roach, so the Ward still has to play unfavorable stuff.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. Wardhaven, that's true. He's still gonna play against normal decks besides Roach with Wardhaven, so
it's got just enough to squeak out a win against non-Roaches. It's not easy, but it can. And then against Roach, it's like very, very favored, so that's probably why it's snuck in there. All right, finally, I want to talk about the upcoming events that are happening soon. SVO Qualifier 2 is happening very soon. Registration ends on the 31st of August, and the tournament itself takes place on September 6th. That's going to be after the Omens format, so 10 days after Omens. So you're going to have a very short amount of time to test and scrim in the lead up to that tournament. So best of luck to everybody there. There's also the Shadowverse Online Championship for September. It's a Japanese run tournament, but some countries from Southeast Asia can still enter. It's going to be on September 14th, 15th, and the 23rd. It has a prize of 5 million yen, and also the top 2 players qualify for World Grand Prix. Unfortunately, this one specifically in September doesn't have English support. There will be English support for the Rage event in September, which is an offline, and also for the online in November, but this one specifically doesn't have English support. So get out your Google Translate, I guess, if you're not familiar with Japanese for this one. So there you go. Finally, let's talk about the main topic. They announced a quadrillion things for the new update patch notes, and I want to talk about it and talk about it with y'all. So obviously, first, there's the new card set, Heirs of the Omen, the new exchange tickets, and they did say in the patch notes it is only 2 exchange tickets and 2 fully animated. So what do you think about the drop? Legends Rise had 4 tickets, Infinity Wall had 3, now we're only down to 2. Is that good or bad?
I think it's fine, but my main issue with that is that the drop rate of an exchange ticket is set at that 0.15 or 0.015, not like as a whole higher. So when there are less tickets, you have a less chance of getting any leader at all. No, it's just 2 shots at that 1 in 833.
Yeah, I guess. But also, I think that they can't really win with this one. It's like a catch-22, because if they add a lot of exchange tickets, then people will complain that they're always going to get the one that they don't want. You know what I mean? That's also a thing.
It'll be easier to randomly roll one you actually want from your off-steady 250. Sure.
I'm also kind of surprised that this is the Omen set, some of the most popular characters in Shadowverse lore. And one of them is Galamu, which is great, and then the other one is just some guy that we just met. I thought that was kind of surprising.
Sub-Zero looks really generic as well. I guess he's for the girlies. He looks like one of them boys from K-pop Demon Hunters.
I was so sure that they were going to do the Shenna because she's one of the most popular Shadowverse original characters ever, but also I'm relieved I don't have to pull for another exchange ticket yet. I just have to spend like, what, 100? 200?
Are you absolutely confident that there won't just be the Lashana alt art in the store and also a full art in the pack?
So I've been refreshing the Twitter, and we still. Well, I don't think they would do, and well, who knows? I wouldn't expect them to do a regular alt art and then a fully animated.
I was just gonna say that they also said there's gonna be 2 fully animateds this set. And we don't know what they are yet, so that's
yeah. So I've been refreshing the Shadowverse Twitter because we're in the last hours. This is the part where they probably will just drop the rest of the big cosmetics. Honestly, though, I've been looking for the 3rd exchange ticket, waiting for that. I didn't even realize it was just 2 until you just said it.
Yeah, it's just 2. Kind of crazy.
I think the fully animated will be Ryo and Izudia because they are the ugliest bastards known to man.
Why would you say that? Don't breathe that into this universe,
what if they lock in and make them look cool for once, for the first time ever?
If we're gonna get a fully animated, my wish list is Rulanai and Valneric. I'd be sick. And also the Dragon Air.
I feel like that's cheating, though. Because like Abyss already got fully animated for Ginsetsu and Yuzuki. So doing another fully... Well, yeah, good. But also, doing another fully animated for a dual unit is cheating. You can't do that twice in a row.
You want another pack with 2 Dragon Chase cards in it?
bleed them dry. Okay.
I think it'll be the new Abyss and Portal legendaries, because those two are very animated women doing their
you know what?
singing.
Valharia is the mascot of the set. Maybe she'll get one.
That's true.
Yeah.
Side games do love their small women.
If they do Valharia and Oxia, I would have to pull for both of them because I like both.
That's messed
Oh,
up.
Oxia's okay, but she's Portalcraft, so I have to get her by default.
Anyway,
she's okay.
they're also adding a new story. Kaori Yuihara, my wife. She's getting a story update, so that's pretty cool. Pretty exciting.
I'm playing
stuff
the story
there.
day one because I dig the setting of Tokyo.
Oh yeah, it's so sick, and also
I gotta play Duals first. But
it's got synergy with the Shadowverse Evolve set that's coming out too. That's also a set in Tokyo, so that's pretty cool.
If you like Tokyo, hop on Evolve, because Shadowverse Evolve has their own full expansion of just Tokyo.
Pretty cool. I mean, not out yet, but soon.
It's going to be, yeah.
And they also say there's a 3 million downloads deck giveaway event. This one, there's some controversy, okay? Because we thought that we'd be getting a free pre-built every set regardless. That's sort of the precedent they set with set 2 and set 1. But now they're framing it as a 3 million reward rather than being a per set just given thing. That's a little sus, I think. I wonder if they're trying to ease us off of this expectation of getting a free deck every set. You know what I mean? Does that raise any flags for you? No.
I don't know. I don't vibe. I think that giving away a deck of any craft every expansion might have been unsustainable. It was almost too good to be true.
No. But you know, comparing this to Shadowverse Classic, 3 to 4 sets or 3 to 4 decks given away as like a temp deck, quote unquote, per set was kind of normal. But I don't like that they're framing it as a 3 million downloads giveaway, because that sort of makes me think like next set we might not get anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the framing is a little bit sus. It doesn't inspire confidence. I'm thinking kind of worried about that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do they put Loot Sword as difficulty 3?
Yeah,
it's
so
crap, bro.
they also put difficulties on them, and they put Galmu as difficulty 1. They put
I don't believe that.
They put Mode Abyss as difficulty 2 and Loot as difficulty 3. Loot has to be more interesting than I think it is. If in the comments, if it's gonna end up being difficulty 3. All right. And they also said that there's going to be new card styles for sale. Yay. And it's a set, so it's bundled. They're not individual.
Oh my.
Yeah. It's a card
Doesn't
style.
card style set just mean card style emblem and sleeve?
No, the Gildardia and Charon one will be bundled into one set.
It's
Yeah.
bundled. Yep.
What's the damn point?
So you can get a Gildardia or a Charon card style emblem and sleeve. Yeah.
You have to buy both because buying both gives more money to the devs.
Also, the Battle Pass is coming out for this season, for this month rather. It's per month. Seasons are monthly now, not per expansion, like we said. The normal pass, you get the Devastating Soprano emblem and sleeve, so you don't have to pay for that cosmetic, which is cool. And Devastating Soprano, a very good card that we saw revealed. It's the one that destroys any allied card and summons a White Psalm, so very strong. And then in the premium pass, you get the card style for Devastating Soprano, which I think is Lashena with her feet in the water, which is pretty cool.
Heck yeah.
And then you also get the Keith Rothman leader emblem and sleeve. And if you get the premium pass, you immediately get the emblem and sleeve for Keith Rothman. Keith Rothman, by the way, sick design. He's got like an ice blade. I like you said, Kaylin, I love the setting of Tokyo. Like literally cyberpunk magic cops. That's pretty cool.
It's straight out of Castlevania, man.
Yeah,
I do think it's very bold of them to do 3 men in a row for Battle Pass, but I'm cool with it. Yeah, sure.
Well,
If you call Neo a man,
I just think
he's a boy.
I just think it's bold of them not to do a. They haven't cashed in onto a waifu Battle Pass.
You see,
yet,
nobody complained that set 2 all the exchange tickets were big booby women, so I don't know. I'm like whatever, so it's fine. I mean, I'm kind of neutral on that, but you know, your opinion might differ. We also get the new Grand Master rank. which has a whole bunch of mechanics built into it, and I have my qualms with it. Let me tell you what. It's divided into 4 ranks, Grandmaster 0 to Grandmaster 3. If you get Grandmaster 0, you get a flare, sleeves, and 3 packs of the new set. GM1 gives you 2 packs for the new set, GM2 gets you 2 packs and Apprentice Globe, and GM3 gets you the premium sleeves and a Sears Globe. I don't like this because in Shadowverse Classic, if you, not to do this again, old man yells at Cloud, if you got GM0 in Shadowverse Classic, you got the animated sleeves and 10 packs. Now, you have to get to GM3 for the sleeves and 7 packs. What the heck?
If you got GM3 in Shadowverse Classic, you got 40 packs. And if you were at GM3 in Shadowverse Classic, you were also top 1K in that format and getting another 20 packs at the end of that season. I will also say they did make climbing to GM easier because they're adding win streak bonus in Master, and they're also, you can't lose points for losing. But this still is a huge rewards downgrade from Shadowverse Classic, which is crazy.
It just makes it more annoying than it has to be, especially since one of the main appeals of reaching Grandmaster was to get those animated sleeves, because animated sleeves were very uncommon back in the day. So
yeah.
Also,
and I'm just gonna say it, if you're desperate for animated sleeves nowadays, guys, if you're out here playing Shadowverse Worlds Beyond and you really want some animated sleeves, go play Shadowverse Classic and get the GM sleeves there.
Well, I don't know if I would recommend people playing Shadowverse Classic during Verdant Conflict meta, dude.
Yeah, Verdant Conflict meta, and also like building from scratch a Classic is rough because all your cards are just gonna get cycled out in a month anyway.
I don't know about that, but yeah, I don't know. It's odd. I think
it would still probably take less wins than getting GM3 at 2 to 400.
It's like yet another downgrade from the classic systems, and at this point, I'm just like, again, like, come on. Anyway.
It's a whole lot of small problems. Death by 1,000 cuts. But at least if you need to, you can spend a Sears gem on your unsleeved Grandmaster sleeves.
I was gonna mention that.
Sleeves, but yeah,
if you do decide to use a Sears gem on your Grandmaster sleeves and then still go on to get Grandmaster, instead of getting refunded when you hit GM3, you get a globe back.
Wait, really?
Oh yeah.
Wait. It does say that. If you already own the premium sleeves, you get a globe.
Not a gem,
so
a globe.
Wait,
especially since Sears gem is the most difficult cosmetic.
Wait, unless you don't care about animating sleeves and you want more globes to make more animated legendaries. Honestly, I could see that, but they should give you multiple globes.
Oh, are we going to talk about one of my favorite features?
Oh, no, we'll talk about, is it to do with Grandmaster? We're still talking about
this. No, glowing decks, but we'll get to it.
No, we'll talk about that in a sec. Grandmaster, there's still some stuff to cover. So, they also say, after you achieve Grandmaster, your group will be replaced by class ratings. So your group will be locked until the next card set releases, and points you get will not be reflected in your group records. Instead, you have a class rating for each individual class, and you can choose to show it or hide it publicly on your profile, or only show epic or above. So like if you are bad, you can just hide that, which is pretty funny. And the 4 class rating grades are epic, which is 1650 to 1749. Ultimate, which is 1750 to 1849, Legendary, which is 1850 plus, and Beyond, which is 1850 plus, but you're also top 100 in the class rankings. So,
that's the name of the game, Beyond.
Honestly, this is kind of dope, but I don't know if you get anything for upgrading your CR at all, other than a notch on your profile page. I'll have to see if there's like any feats associated with this. You know, there might be. You know what I mean? Like if they add like a feat, get Beyond in one class or something like that, and then you get like a feat
but
for
there's
that.
only ever gonna be 700 Beyonds at a time. That's way too little, right?
Yeah. But I'm just wondering if they're gonna add anything other than just like this like statistic in your profile. Basically, that's what I'm asking. Like, do you get anything for that? We'll have to find out when the set comes out, I guess. Next up,
I think ranking in Shadowverse Worlds Beyond is a bit too complicated. There's way too many different meters, mechanics, bars you level up.
You know, I still got questions asking like, what the hell is a group? So, you know, you're not wrong.
What is a master level?
Next up, ranking seasons. After a new card set, the seasons change approximately every month, or after a new card set releases. So yeah, it's per month, not per season, or not per set. And then also, players that have reached Grandmaster will be demoted to GM 0 in the mid-month, and then if it's a new set, you go back to Master 0. So it makes the second month grind easier because it starts you at 20,000 MP basically in the second month.
Yeah, but what if you were at like GM 2.5 and then the month ticks over?
Well, it's your fault. Play the game more.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't like that at all.
You have the calendar. You know when the thing is resetting ahead of time. You should be planning for that.
That's still annoying though, because one positive change that Classic. One thing that Classic did change back in the day was that it used to be a 1 month grind, and then it became a expansion grind. So you would have 3 months to grind Grandmaster. Bringing back a 1 month grind to some extent, it's not as punishing compared to just starting all the way back in Master instead. But like. What
it just tells me is don't even try in the first month. Get Grandmaster 0, and then if you really want the animated sleeves, try in the second month.
Wait, am I misremembering actually? Did Classic reset you back to Grandmaster 0 every month as well? Or am I
believe it did.
I'm getting old.
It did.
Okay,
I'm
getting old. Okay, never mind, it's the same thing. It's the same system.
It's fine. They give you the schedule ahead of time, so you can plan if you want to do it or not. That's fine.
It's slightly inconvenient, but it's
I will also say Grandmaster 0 is only 20,000 MP. They don't say how much GM 1, 2, or 3 it is in terms of MP. But I'll tell you right now, I barely played this season compared to Season 1. I'm at 60,000 MP. It's actually pretty easy. So, like, it's like, whatever. I don't
know. I got like 200 ranked wins this month, this season, which is... only a little less than last month, but it was still a lot of playing for me while I was out doing other things. I don't think anyone that is playing less than like 4 wins a day is getting anywhere close. Like you can probably everyone's getting Grandmaster 0, but
I'm not playing Jack right now, but I'm at 32,000, so that's something.
It's honestly, it's fine.
And there's going to be win streak bonuses this time, so it's going to be a bit easier too. So, okay,
listen,
yeah. Sure.
I hope I don't get called a shill for defending this. I did say that, like, the rewards are worse, and that's bad also. But, like, the actual system, it's fine.
It's not as dire this time. It's not the worst thing ever, at least. It could be. Right. Yeah.
Next up, we also have the blah, blah, blah. New battle tutorials. 6 new battle tutorials, including one that uses the faith mechanic. We also know that there's going to be a loot one and a Galmu one, so that's pretty cool. So that's also more single player rewards. If they just keep adding tutorials and puzzles every set, eventually, like if a new player joins in the late game, they can just get a bajillion rupees for playing puzzles. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, and there's also going to be 5 new guided puzzles, and again, those will all have rewards, presumably. So pretty cool.
Nice.
Another thing. If you open a pack and one of the 8 cards is a premium, you now get a rainbow colored effect. Great.
Yeah, okay.
And this is Kaylin's favorite thing. If a deck contains a certain number of premium cards, a special effect will now show on the deck during the match. And the effect becomes stronger at 10, 20, 30, and 40 premium cards. But if you don't want to see the whales flex and you think that's annoying, you can turn it off in the settings. They
shouldn't be allowed to turn it off.
That's just a cute little thing.
I should be able to flex and they can't do anything about it. So I'm someone that's famous for max rating all my protocrafts. I'm someone that will animate all of my cards eventually. So this is perfect for me.
Yeah, I always get up Igni because he teaches new players to sin and destroy their premium cards for vials. And now I feel vindicated in yelling at him over that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure those new players who need more cards are very sad that instead of getting a cool new legendary, they missed out on a shiny deck effect that people can turn off.
Yeah,
they are bad, and you should feel bad.
Also, visual improvements to crests, special effects for crests whose abilities activate, like Grimnir. That's going to be really important for me. I literally always forget he's online.
Always.
And then
Same.
also, there's also an exclamation mark that displays on the top left of Crest if it activates by consuming a resource, like Juno's Crest that consumes Earth Sigils. So that's pretty cool too. There's also improvements to the replay feature, where there's a button to move one back and one move forward. One move back, one move forward. And one turn back and one turn forward, and now those are going to be pressable while the replay is playing, so that's pretty cool. There's also going to be animations that will not play for playing and attacking after you press the hotkey to advance or move forward. That might make it faster to skim through your replays. And then also the play pause button will be pressable even after you close the replay menu, so you don't have to bring up the bottom drawer menu every time just to pause the thing. So that's nice. This is really useful for pro players and people who want to improve their play and like see like what moves, what other lines they could have taken in different games. So pretty cool. Next up, there's also visual adjustments to Odin, not balance adjustments. Don't get too excited. It's a visual adjustment. So he's gonna get a new effect on the field or whatever, a new visual effect. I don't know. And also adjustments to guild ranking rewards period. Guild ranking rewards will also be now every 2 months. So they're also going to increase the required GRP for guild ranks, I think. Okay. Gotta lock the heck in.
We couldn't even reach S++ this month. We only got like 90K.
We got a lot of inactives though. I gotta cycle them out.
Yeah, fair enough. Like half the guild didn't do anything.
Also, visual adjustment to training mode. There's going to be an effect that plays when a card in hand is pressed during training mode, so it's going to be easier to see. There's also going to be adjustable volume for voice chat and mic in Shadowverse Park, and you can also hide the voice chat menu when in Park now. There's also going to be improvements to the UI when chatting in Park. So if you press outside of the window of free chat gesture, sticker, or quick chat, it'll immediately close it. That's good. And also, when you snap a photo with the camera, regardless of your current graphics setting, the photo will be taken at the highest graphics. So even if you... That's good, yeah. Also, improvements to UI when setting card art or illustrations in the park. You can now remove what is currently set, and card and illustrations names will now be displayed when you edit your profile image. And there's also adjustments to the time zone for English announcements. It'll be changed from Pacific time to UTC. Thank God, an actual time zone people use outside of America. And the time difference from JST. Oh yeah. So yeah, it's UTC now instead of PT. Good. People use UTC. Nobody uses PT outside of America, so thank God. Yeah. And finally,
that's me. I'm America.
Improvements to story animations. They improved the lip sync. Pog you.
That's good.
There's also some bug fixes with Take-Two redrawing, which is interesting. And that, as an apology for that issue having existed, everybody gets a Take-Two ticket. Yay!
Yay! I love Take-Two.
There's also some bug fixes with like Shadowverse Park putting your posters up in your room. Who cares? Okay, so pretty cool. That's the entire update. Generally, I have good things to say, with a couple of caveats. Grandmaster awards being less kind of stinky, and yeah, that's it. Everything else is pretty okay. Oh, and the decks being framed as a 3 million reward, I also don't like. But other than that, genuinely good update. Excited for the boss battle. Yeah, what do you guys think?
It looks relatively harmless. I can't wait to see how they could possibly mess this up.
Oh, don't say that. Come on.
I'm gonna be the doomer for this team dynamic. I'm gonna represent the doomers moving forward.
Man. All right, what do you think, Kaylin?
Oh, frick.
Okay, good stuff. Let's move on to the viewer.
Oh, wait. I'm not dying anymore.
Okay.
I think that they need to not mask like basic rewards such as this Take-Two ticket behind apologies or like thank yous and 3 million download events. I feel like that's a bit scummy. We expected to get a free Take-Two ticket every expansion. and they're saying it's an apology ticket. If it was an apology ticket, I think it would be on top of the one we expected.
They never said that they were going to give one every expansion, did they?
It was the expected result when they added Take Two.
I guess to be fair though, even Classic did this to an extent where they would frame like the events as milestones. Because you would have chess events pretty much every expansion, but those were framed as melee rewards as well too. But they would still tease out regularly anyway though.
I don't know.
I don't think we've had the chest event announced for this expansion. Personally, I think I really liked the way the throwback rotations had events going with the numbered days of the month.
Yeah, it would
chest
be cool.
Event, Grand Prix. It's a nice system.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they did announce events
really helps with grinding.
They announced events for this set, but they didn't announce a chest event. They announced a guild chest event this time. I wonder if they're just trying something new. Who knows? Anyway, that's it. Now we're coming to the tail end of the podcast. Let's talk about the viewer question. I asked, what's the name of set 3? Wrong answers only. We now know the name of set 3, Heirs of the Omen. And somebody's M. Tombs writes, it'll be called Omen of 300, and it'll feature a custom card for all 300 delegates from the Battle Fest.
Including the 200 people that threw in the other teams? No, I'm kidding.
That's messed up. I think everyone was just like, I will say I noticed that even on all other content I did, even though it was unrelated to the Battle Fest, tensions are high. People are upset. Okay.
Yeah.
Next set, and Kaiser Rexitron says, next set is Omens 11. All the Omens replaced with Ocean's 11 characters. That would be peak. We'd get Frank Sinatra in there. Good.
Oh, hell yeah.
Speaking of, we still don't have a collab for Worlds Beyond. Still, let's get those Oceans. Let's get those 11s in.
I would really think it's obvious that they would capitalize on the UMA hype. But also, they plan the sets out way in advance, so who knows how long it'll take before we get a UMA collab. I don't know, man. I hope we get one soon. And then somebody had an actual real answer. Fenster Kit X says, Omen of Bahamut. Darkness Evolved became Infinity Evolved, so now Rise of Bahamut plus Omens equals Omen of Bahamut. Surely. Well, no. But hopefully we get Bahamut soon.
Pipe dream. Not going to get printed. Never. Too powerful.
And they also write, I'm also of the opinion that these first 2 sets are meant to be considered as a staggered basic set. We have foundations for all the most basic playstyles of the classes now, and now side games can start getting more creative with the next sets, brackets, hopefully. Omens are the ideal vessel for that. I just hope it's not the 1 bronze, 1 silver, 1 gold, 1 Lego pattern we've seen so often. Well, it is, sorry. They could push more support for these new archetypes in the lower rarities instead of doing take 2 filler or whatever. Oh no, to be fair, there are multiple silvers for each one, right? That's good.
And both for each Omen archetype, they kind of are just putting both legendaries for each archetype. So they're trying to actually flesh them out this time. At least.
That still leaves 1 other golden legendary to boost existing stuff, but yeah, this is going to be really tight. Please no duo card. That would make 0 sense with their lore. Sorry.
Poopsie.
Well, I mean, I want to say
5 duo cards for you.
I want to say that card, I mean, that comment kind of echoed what you were saying, Tanko, earlier about, the first 2 sets just being basic stuff, like establishing the class's identity, and then going forward, you get more interesting things. So, I mean, there you go.
I also do think it's alarming that we still don't have a Bahamut. That guy, he's John Sly Games.
Oh. Yeah. He's the logo. You can see him out the window, right? Oh, wait, no, you can't.
Technically, in Shadowverse Classic, Bahamut came in the 3rd set. So it's, it's not 4th set, not too far. Maybe we'll get it.
Okay.
Although, to be honest, I kind of hope they do less nostalgia stuff and do more original stuff.
That's what
they're doing with this expansion.
Yeah, I was so glad that it's not just Omen nostalgia. The fact that they're going so far as to do whole new OCs for the Omen lore is amazing.
I am glad about that, but I would like to
in
see
the lore for Omen of the Storms and Omen of the 10. They lost both times and then had to come back, right?
They lost to Kuon. The
original
had a phase 2, and they somehow still lost to Kuon's team.
Hey, don't make it seem like it was only Kuon though. There was other heavyweights in there.
No, yeah, but Kuon was the leader. Yeah.
Filene solos Galm every chance. I'm sorry, I'm saying it. But what I'm getting at is that means this time in the lore, they're going to beat the Heirs but the heirs will come back because only the losers get to
The hell
return.
is this fucking Dragon Ball Z? What is happening with this shit?
It's a tournament arc.
All right. Guys, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. Really appreciate it. Leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe for more. And as always, we have a viewer question that I want to ask you. Yes, you. What deck are you playing first in set 3? The full portal drops in just a few hours from moment of recording. Let me know what you're most excited to play, and you might get read out on the next episode of Evolve Point. Other than that, thank you for tuning in for an extra long Evolve Point this time. We had a lot to talk about. Once again, 3 old men complain for a good chunk of it, but, you know, also gotta give credit where credit's due. Hopefully the boss battle is good. I'm excited for that. And hopefully this next set is good, because surely it can't get worse in set 2, right? Fingers crossed.
Sure.
All right.
You'll find my summon sign in the hospital.
Oh no.
That's long.
And Tonko, I hope you're streaming this set this time instead of playing One Piece all day.
You will find me in the Gundam TCG tables, flooded with 6 pilots clogging up my hand.
Good stuff. Nobody knows what that means on this. Who's watching this podcast?
Even I barely know. Yeah.
Yeah. So go follow Kaylin on Twitter and Reddit and Discord. You can follow Such Patanko on YouTube and Twitch, and you can follow me on those places too. Bye.
Bye.
Kaylin, you didn't say bye.